If you go online and if you go to the number 4 and the letter B and M, 4bm.africa, that's our website. You're able to join directly from there. So there's no membership fee. We do not charge anybody any fees to join. I'm very privileged that I work with around 200 or so other WhatsApp admins who themselves, some of them have up to 10 groups or so. And you probably know that one WhatsApp group, the maximum you can have is 1,022 people. And I have 3 members within our admins who actually have more than 8 WhatsApp groups, and 5 of them are all filled.
Wow.
So this is not something that I do alone. And I must say that very privileged that the people that I work with, first and foremost, I have possibly only met today.
Mabibi na mabwana, welcome ladies and gentlemen to another episode of You Create Impact. And today we are welcoming a multidimensional figure. You'll introduce yourself. He's achieved so much. I wonder how he does it. So really excited to hear him share with us today what he's been up to and the kind of impact that he has been creating. So welcome to the show. Here at You Create Impact, we are spotlighting people like you who are impacting the communities that they live in and beyond. So welcome.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here this afternoon. My name is Michael Onyango, and as we go on, I'll probably explain a bit more who I am, what I do, why I do it, and the reason why I accepted to be here today with Sylvia on this interview. Yes.
Thanks. So maybe we can start with things from the domestic front. I think that's what is least talked about. He introduces himself as go to michaelonyango.com to be able to know more about him. But what is not on michaelonyango.com? When we come home to your family, who will we find and what do we see there?
So what is not on michaelonyango.com is the person who just loves music, for one. I mean, don't take away my music. Take away anything from me, but not my music. I absolutely love my music. Of course, family is extremely important and vital to me. So they get top priority over everything that I do and everything that I am. I always ensure that what they need, what they want, gets top priority because nothing matters more than having people that you love or people that love you being looked after and being companions for you. So that's possibly what you'll not find on michaelonyango.com.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about your family. Have you always been this conscious about meeting their needs, or is it something that you learned? So maybe let's go back to when you were still dating your wife and, things that happened up to today.
So family, as you've said, the way you grow up, I think your parents set a lot of precedents in terms of who you become and how you engage with the world and everybody else. So I think that's a big influence as to how you actually relate internally, but also how you relate externally. Because what you do at home really is a reflection of what also happens in your outside life, whether you like it or not. It's very difficult to, at least for me, to separate the person I am at home and the person that I am outwardly. And for me, family is not just only the immediate nuclear family, but it's also the extended family. So, for example, like I must say that first of all, I'm very privileged, very lucky that to date, both my parents are still alive, and I don't take that for granted at all because I have a lot of my peers who have never had the opportunity to enjoy, their parents. So I definitely don't take that for granted. And then beyond that, also I must say that my siblings, I only have two siblings, an elder brother and a younger brother. Lost my sister about 24 years ago, which was
Sorry.
yes, yeah. But that has also taught us all what's important because she was the youngest, amongst us. So I think that for me is what has over the years taught me and taught us to appreciate that you could have everything that you may be looking for from the world, but the most precious things which really matter can be gone tomorrow. So as much as possible, whenever I can, I try to ensure that my parents don't live here. They live in a place called Kabar, which is in Kisumu County. At least once a month, I try to ensure that I go and I spend some time physically with them. Because like I said, I now see a lot of my peers who never had the opportunity to have both their parents. So I really take that as a very strong privilege and grace from God. So I don't take that for granted at all. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. And what about your kids?
Well, yes. So first of all, so when you talk about kids, when I talk about kids, it's just not about the kids that I have, but it's about the kids that I also, or rather look to me as their parents. And that has come across because of the work that I have been doing purposefully since 2016. And this has been around working with the forgotten bottom millions, as I call them. Those who in society, for whatever reason, may have fallen along the way, not because they did not have, it's because circumstances were such that, for example, they may not have finished school because maybe their parents passed or the parents did not have the ability to take them to the next stage of their lives. So along the way, I've picked up a lot of children, who also look to me as a parent. And for me, that is a very strong responsibility because when people put that amount of trust within you, it's a very delicate balance. So what I have tried to do within that sphere is when I can, is provide mentorship. But beyond mentorship, also try to become a friend and then confidant for them so that and I'm very happy that some of them that I know, who I won't mention publicly, have actually moved on in their own lives to become well-known and grounded people. Note, I said well-known and grounded people, not well-known and grounded personalities, because in life, it is not what people see you, it is what you are. So a lot of times, we think that because you may have a certain amount of status or a title, that becomes you, but it's never you. Again, I've been very fortunate that throughout my life and seeing from the things around me, from the experiences that I've gone through, is that your job, your title is not who you are. But sadly, and the reason why a lot of people are not able to cope in their lives is because they confuse their jobs with themselves. And once you make that mistake, you really become a big mess. because you are more than just your job and just your title.
True.
Your job and your title are maybe things that just help you to earn a living and to be able to look after yourself and your family and those that you care for. So, like I said, in 2016, I had the privilege of then working for the county government of Kisumu. And I was privileged that I worked in the very first government when devolution had just come to fore. And one of the things, I served as a county minister in charge of communication, information, and technology. And out of every 5 people who'd come to see me any day, 4 of them would be, I need a job, I need assistance with a health problem, or I need to get to school, or I have a certain kind of crisis. So unknowingly then, I then started engaging with a lot of, who were mainly a lot of young people then, and I started engaging with them over and through WhatsApp. Yes, yeah.
So did you put them in a group?
Yes. So I actually started with just one group of about 20 people. In fact, I remember one young man walked to my office and I told him, listen, do you have a smartphone? And he said, yes. I told him, why don't you form a group of 20 people? When you reach 20, add me as the 21st person. And so you don't have to come to my office anymore. Wherever you are, I'll be sharing different kinds of opportunities, which not just you, but also the other people
Could access.
So as more and more people came to my office, I kept saying that. Within about 3 months, I noticed that the flow to my office had become significantly less. But also, people would post back in their groups and say that, hey, by the way, I'm able to, I got this, or I got this and I got this. And that was then the birth of what has become 4BM, Forgotten Bottom Minutes today. But I didn't know it then because I wasn't forming
a movement.
No, I wasn't. I was only filling a circumstance that needed help at that particular time. We're now in 2025. 4BM is actually in all the 47 counties in Kenya. We have more than 500,000 members, all through WhatsApp. And we have shared over 200,000 opportunities. This is fully funded scholarships, job opportunities, remote jobs. We also share e-resources, e-magazines, library books. During COVID, there's somebody who was in a West African country who was actually doing his PhD, and it is resources that he got from our platform that enabled him to finish.
Oh,
yes, yeah. We've got people around the world who are studying their masters, who have completed PhDs, who got scholarships through us, fully funded, and never paid a penny, never paid a cent. And I must emphasize that I do not know them all personally, and I'm actually not interested in knowing them all because everything that we do as 4BM, which I just support, is a need, filling a need as a responsible member of society to also give back and to also help others.
Awesome.
Yes.
I love that. I've never known the background of Forgotten Bottom Millions. I think that's amazing. So just a small question from some people has really resulted in something big. I'm just wondering, how do you source these opportunities? I have so many questions, actually.
No problem.
How do you source the opportunities? I know you spend a lot of time even curating the content and how it looks. You can see from the flyer that we've shared, it needs some graphic design work. It needs effort to be able to push that content.
Right. Yeah.
Where are you getting the resources to be able to do that? And I think I asked the crew here, 4 people, do you know this movement? And a lot of them don't know it.
Okay.
So how do you also include people who are not of the generic, job search, scholarship search opportunity, probably from the self-employment space or something like that? So maybe we can start there.
Okay, quite a number of questions. So first one, let me just start that anybody who wants to become a member or know about us, if you go online and if you go to the number 4 and the letter B and M, 4bm.africa, that's our website. You're able to join directly from there. So there's no membership fee. We do not charge anybody any fees to join. I'm very privileged that I work with around 200 or so other WhatsApp admins who themselves, some of them have up to 10 groups or so. And you probably know that one WhatsApp group, the maximum you can have is 1,022 people. And I have 3 members within our admins who actually have more than 8 WhatsApp groups, and 5 of them are all filled.
Wow.
So this is not something that I do alone. And I must say that very privileged that the people that I work with, first and foremost, I have possibly only met to date maybe not more than 15 of all the admins that we work with. Yes. And that's because I think there's no greater satisfaction in life, at least I think, where I sit, than being able to help a total stranger that you've never met, that you do not know, and you're not helping them because you want something back. You're helping them because they need the help.
I think that's the definition of humanity.
Yeah, because they need the help. You've asked a very valid question. Where do we get the jobs? Where do we get the fully funded scholarships from and everything else? So what we do is that, so as 4BM, I have a very lean team that we work with. And again, the lean team that we work with, the only person that actually earns a pay and a salary is our graphic designer. And that's why you can see all, everything is actually
That's
curated.
super aggressive.
Yeah.
Good job on that.
No. I mean, the thing is, this is that, I mean, we're very clear. I mean, we are just as good as anybody else and anything else around the world. I mean, I must say that. So that's the standards that we keep. And so what we do is that, for example, the remote jobs that we advertise, on which we share for free, if you go to any of our remote jobs, first and foremost, if you Google, you probably won't find them. And the reason why is because we've literally subscribed to a site that has those fully verified jobs that we pay for. So when we pick them up, we ensure that the jobs which Kenyans are actually qualified for. And if you're a Kenyan, if you apply for it, they won't tell you that no, your jurisdiction is not for that. So that's how and where we pick them from. Yes. The other thing you've asked about, the fully funded scholarships and all that. So again, we have a very good team that's totally behind the scene that actually scurs and goes through the internet. And remember, we've been doing this since 2015. So we do know what is a scam. We do know where to get the fully funded scholarships from. It is interesting about just during COVID, actually it's very interesting, during COVID, one of the embassies here, one of the European embassies here in this country actually invited me to the offices, and they actually shared with me remote jobs then, for Kenyans to apply for. So that also just tells you the credibility that we have as an organization, as 4BM. And I think our biggest credibility, because we don't ask anybody for a penny or for a cent, people ask, well, what's the catch? And I think you've asked a big question that, so where and who funds this? So this is my own personal community social investment, my own CSI. So I've been funding this since 2015. Yes, as me, and this is my give back to my country, to my people, and to my society.
And you've been giving back for long. Your voice, it's something I want to talk about. It's unmistakable. And one of the crew mentioned that they remember it from KTN, yeah? Would you say that again?
Yes. So when KTN was the only second station in Kenya after KBC, I was the voice. So when you'd hear, this is KTN, that was my voice.
Wow.
Yes. And then I also used to do the promos, like coming up next, on this program. So yes, I was the voice then.
So wait there. Could you say, this is you create impact?
This is you create impact.
Woohoo! Now we've got it. Thanks. So yeah,
Sure,
just keep sharing.
Yeah, but so my life has been very interesting. I've been very privileged that unlike many other people, I've actually had the opportunity to do and work on the things that I truly love. I got into voiceovers, video work, totally by accident, by happenstance. I remember I just come back.
I think that's what you think.
Well,
but I would pick you for a video like automatically,
it's
without question.
Well, it's interesting, and I think I do need to give credit where it's due. I do need to give credit to Josephine Bale, who was then. I went to college with her, to university with her at University of Barrington, University of Eastern Africa in Barrington. But I went and I finished my degree in the then mother university, which was Andrews in the US. When I came back, so she calls me and tells me, Michael, can you come and do a VO? And I said, what is a VO? I don't know what the term meant. But that was the beginning of my getting into, into documentaries, into hosting shows on TV and different other things. And that opened up the door for me to also then become a producer, a director, and very lucky and very privileged that one of the accolades that I always remember, and I'm thankful for the grace of God for, is that I had the opportunity to also produce a documentary as one of the 12 people chosen by National Geographic Channel for a series called The Blue Planet Heroes. So yes, I think, like I said, I've been privileged that I've had really, when I look back in my career to today, the things that I've done are the things that I truly enjoy and I truly love.
Yeah, and you left media
Yes.
and went into this sort of philanthropy space.
Well, when I left media, so I left media and I still worked I still worked in communication, but now I moved away from media per se, and I went into public relations. So I went into PR work, which I did for a couple of years, actually quite a number of years, probably about 20 to 24 years of my life I spent actually working within public relations. Then I left that also.
Yeah, and what did that entail? Let's not miss that step.
Okay, so I worked with what is then known as ACE Communications.
I remember.
Yes,
they used to do a lot of documentaries.
Exactly. So ACE Communications was owned then by Raphael Tuju. Yes, and I learned a lot from him, about the communications industry, about public relations, and I built a lot of skill from there. And then, when I left Raphael Tuju's ACE Communications, but within ACE Communications, I was there. That's when I did the documentary for National Geographic, The Blue Planet Heroes. And I must say that I was lucky that I was part of his team, the team at ACE Communications, that brought back the first Grammy Award to Kenya for a song that we did as ACE Communications. So from there, I was lucky that I worked.
Something comes to mind.
Yes.
Kula kidogo jawara. Where did that come from?
So that's okay. So that's got nothing to do with me. But that is so that Kula kidogo jawara is actually part of a very common folk song amongst the Luos. But what has happened is that a lot of the artists have picked up on that and taken that and have used it within some of their renditions of the music and the songs that they do to their advantage, which has really been excellent.
Was he talking about corruption?
Well, Kula Kidogo Jawara, as it says, Jawara is a greedy man. So yes, you can interpret it in many ways. And yes, you don't be wrong to say that. So I've worked in the communications industry. I was lucky enough to work. From there, I then worked with one of the largest and then the most widespread both advertising and PR firms across Africa, which is then called ZK Advertising. Our biggest client then was the company known as Celtel, which then became Zain. I was privileged again and very lucky to have been, I was in charge of all the public relations work across all the Anglophone speaking companies from the agency side for Celtel and then also for Zain. Then from there, I left that particular, it reached a point where, so one of the things I promised myself, let me just go back a bit. When I finished my university education and I graduated, the day I graduated, I promised myself that if any day that I went into a job or anything, when it came to Sunday and I had that feeling like, oh my goodness, tomorrow is Monday and I'm going to school, I would leave that job. I have done that. Yes. I look at your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
it's
because,
so brave.
Yes. No, and the reason being is because, I think after going to primary school, high school, and university, and being under the command and instructions of others, I promised myself that I'll be true
To yourself.
to myself, to what truly not just interests me, but what I also enjoy, and what I am happy waking up in the morning and looking forward to do. I'm doing it effortlessly, and doing it with joy, and doing it with satisfaction. So from ACE Communication, I said I went into ZK Advertising and PR. Very lucky because then I also got an opportunity to work for, because we also worked together with Weber Shandwick, which is one of the three biggest PR firms in the whole world. And I was very privileged that I got to work, with Bill Gates, and I got to be flown to Seattle for a 2-hour meeting all the way from Kenya. Yes.
A 2-hour meeting?
Yes, yeah. I'll never forget.
There were no virtual meetings?
No, there were no virtual meetings then.
Okay.
Yes, there were none. There were none. So very lucky and very privileged again, to have been in that space. Then from there, I remember the day when I literally got tired because my job then became so routine and I didn't feel that I was giving anything to it. I remember it was 11 o'clock in the morning and I literally sat at my table, wrote my resignation letter, sent it to my boss who was in South Africa, packed my computer, put it in my bag, and I walked out of the office and I went home. And I didn't know what I was going to do next. No, I didn't know.
Okay.
Yes.
That was a brave move.
Yes.
What came after?
Well, what came after was I did get an opportunity to work for the World Bank and IFC. Yes. Yeah.
How did that come about? Because you just left. You just upped and left.
Well, it took some time. I think it probably took about 3 to 4 months. Then I was asked if I could go and support the program that they were then doing for what was the scorecard for East Africa. And the program manager asked me if I was interested to go and work with them. And I said yes. So I then went and I worked with IFC and the World Bank.
Did you enjoy that?
Absolutely, yes. I enjoyed it and I learned quite a bit from there. Yes, I did. I enjoyed that. But also at the same time, I also got an opportunity to work. My first gig with government was as a board member of the Kenya Film Commission, which was so great and so insightful because if I had never worked for the Kenya Film Commission as a board director, I'd have never understood how government worked. And when I joined Kisumu County, I had spent 2 years with the board. And that was so important. Otherwise, I'd have gone blind into the county and I would have been, they'd have had me for breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Oops.
But I then knew,
Your way around.
my way around and how things were organized and how things were structured. And that helped me maneuver because I also came in halfway when I was appointed in the Kisumu county government. I came in 2 years into the term. So it was a very short time and there's a lot that I had to do and I had to prove, yes.
So with all your experience working in media, working with people, what advice would you give someone out there trying to find themselves, probably feeling like I need a change, but I don't know how it looks like? Probably I can't quit. A lot of people are in spaces where they don't like it. I mean, I've been there, so I know. But, you just keep going and hope that probably your next big thing comes or things change for the better. So what advice would you give to people going through these kind of phases?
So first and foremost, I think we all have to realize that we're all individuals. You're not me. So don't try and be me and don't try and do me. Do you. It's a journey.
Yeah.
And it's really a journey. Remember, and for those of you listening, I mean, I started working when some of you were not even born. So that's
true.
Yes. So remember that. So I literally formally started working in 1991. But remember, I was also working when I was in college. So along the way, life has its own twists and turns, but you may never understand why you're doing or why you're going through what you have to go through today and how it'll impact what and where you're going to be. So I'll say that it's a journey and let me tell you, to be honest, don't try and be me and don't try to follow someone else's path. I always say that the most difficult thing that we all suffer from, and anybody who's listening or watching this podcast will know that this is true. You're also scared of just sitting without your phone, without the TV being on, without the radio being on, without reading a book. Why? You're scared to know yourself. You're scared to be you. Put those books aside. Put that TV aside. And just spend time with you. Be you. But that's a very difficult journey.
Yeah.
Very difficult journey. I'm happy that I know who I am as for now, and I'm not worried about 5 or 10 years from now. No, I'm not worried about that. I am living today the best way that I can. And I'm living today to the fullest in every way that I can. Again, back to 4BM. Anybody who's on our platform of 4BM knows that between 4 and 4:45 a.m. every single day, apart from Sunday, and no matter where I am around the world, you'll get the morning devotional, which I send myself. It's not automated.
To all the groups?
Yes. Yeah, and I do it myself. But that's me, and I enjoy it. I'm not telling you wake up at 4 to do it, because that's not you. Find out who you are. Don't try and be me.
Yeah.
Don't try and be me. I enjoy it. It gives me a lot of satisfaction knowing that I can start my day off by encouraging others with the word of God. And that's just who I am. So don't try and do it to be me, because you're never meant to be me. I strive to be the best Michael Onyango I can be every single day. I don't strive to be like you. That is my goal, and that's what I wake up doing every day.
Awesome. I really love that. I think it's not even 4 p.m. only.
Yes.
Your posts are all over. There isn't a group you're not in. How do you do that?
Well, I think that then says that people find what I share to be insightful and to be valuable. Therefore, they share them. And they then extend them and find them that they can be of use to other people. And I guess that's why I am everywhere, as you so put it. A lot of the things that I write about, like I said again, the things which I am passionate about, but they're not about me. They're about that hopefully when you engage with it, it may help you move from where you are to the next step, or maybe even better, not to the next step, but leapfrog you to a place that you may have never thought you could be. And let me give you an example. One of the things that I really enjoy is like every Sunday, I share magazines. These are e-magazines. When I say e-magazines, electronic magazines. And, they're very eclectic. Like it could be a time magazine, it could be a magazine about ships, it could be a magazine about cooking, it could be a magazine about audio equipment. It could be a magazine about tea. It could be a magazine about tiles. And why do we share this? Is because there could be somebody who's in Kapenguria, who's a young child, who the mother has a smartphone, and the mother opens a magazine on ships. And that's the first time she may be seeing something about ships. She may only be 13 years old, but that may trigger her mind into one day becoming a Navy architect. And that is what I'm hoping that does.
Information as a powerhouse.
Information as a powerhouse, and a lot of information that allows you to see the world from a different point, with different eyes, and where you're at. And like I said again, we share everything at no cost. So the only cost that it is to you is accessing, getting onto the internet. But apart from that, you don't pay for it.
Yeah. And I'm surprised that because it's free, people haven't taken it for granted, so to speak.
Yes. I think those who've been with us along the way and those who've actually benefited and have gotten their family members and their communities on board have probably known what the value is. In fact, it's interesting. So I'll tell you one of the interesting things. A lot of people have, and I'm sure, how you have your family WhatsApp groups, and then how everybody's like, Sylvia, see, help me get a job. So people love our posts because what they do is they take them, they put them in the family WhatsApp groups, and they tell the family members, apply yourself.
Yeah, post opportunities.
Yes, exactly. Stop asking me, apply yourself. So, so a lot of people are found. I mean, they're showing
an outlet.
They're showing, oh, thank you so much. You really helped me. You've sorted me out because I just put them there and tell them apply. Stop asking me. Other people are applying. And we also, occasionally, when people come back to us to say, like, thank you, I got this job without knowing anybody or etc., we will reshare that post so that people can know that this is actually true and it happens. But again, let me tell you something. We don't force anybody. We don't ask anybody to come back and tell us that you got this or this happened. Because for me, my goal, like I said, is I'm not trying to show you that now we have gotten 10 million followers and then what?
Yeah, I hear you.
It is not about being able to show you the numbers and I can now walk around and I'm telling you about 10 million followers. And so, and then, it'll
Numbers. I've been asked a lot about numbers.
Yes.
But I think your numbers probably speak for themselves because when someone joins the group, they can be able to see.
Right.
But I also feel like documenting that can help other people to understand. Though I think you do a really good job at specifying that these are verified opportunities, because I think that was one of the initial fears. But anyway, let's move into your personal pursuits. In spite of all this, he's still able to do a lot. you're in the agricultural space. Tell us more about that.
Aha.
Yeah.
Now, this is where my passion totally
Like-
is.
Oh,
So,
okay.
funny enough, so let me ask you,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think my degree is in? What do you think I studied?
Someone would think you studied comms,
Yes.
but I think you just fell into comms. Probably even economics. I don't know.
So, interesting enough, I've been very privileged and I've even won awards, world recognized awards within communications, but I learned comms on the job because of interest. My education is actually in agriculture. That's what I studied. And I absolutely love it and enjoy it. So I farm. I have a little tree nursery where I propagate my own trees, shrubs, flowers, and different things, which are for my own use within my own space where I'm at. But I'm now expanding that a bit, and I'm very excited that over the last couple of months, because of my love for agriculture and because of a lot of experimentation I've been doing over the years. So my parents, everything they eat, I'm very particular about it. We try to grow all our vegetables in ourselves so that we know that everything that they eat is actually, we can trace it. It is organic and there's no pesticides used. So for a very long time, there's a concoction which I've been using, which was passed down from my grandmother, which is a mix of a number of plants. And that's what I've been using to spray the vegetables so that it repels harmful insects and everything else. So about a year ago, a friend of mine saw some pictures of the skumas that we have. And he said, the skumas look so healthy. What do you do? And I said, no. I have a biopesticide that we make that I spray. And then he asked me that, can you sell it to me? In all this time, it had never occurred to me that this could be a commercial project. Long story short, 6 months ago, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the National Phytotherapeutic Center at Kenyatta University. They've got one of the most advanced equipments in terms of telling you exactly what is within anything that you give them, be it tea, be it some extracts and everything else, that actually tell you that this is toxic or this has these kind of properties. So literally last week on Thursday, we had given them some samples of our biopesticide, and the report has been so positive that everything that I claimed that we're using it for, it does. So it's actually a bioorganic product that repels caterpillars, aphids, beetles, and different insects. But beyond that, it also a foliar feed that keeps the plant healthy and makes it grow bigger. So this is now what I'm very passionate about, and going forward from now forth, we're trying to turn it into a commercial product and ensure that as Kenyans and as locals, we can now use safe biopesticides that are not chemically laced, that do not increase your chance of getting all these carcinogenic chemicals that then increase your chances of getting diseases such as cancer and other things. So
that's a
what we're
good
doing.
discovery.
Yes. So
And you were
very-
just mixing it.
Well, so like I said before, this has been passed down, but I was using it just for our household produce, so to speak. But because of the friend who asked me that, can I sell some to him, that is when it triggered my mind that I could actually go beyond just using it for ourselves and use it for the larger community. So hopefully this is what we want to commercialize going forward.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
that sounds exciting.
Yes.
We look forward to that
Yes, yeah.
coming to life. So what are you planting aside from the nursery and food for growing?
Sure, absolutely. So skumas, managu, spinach, have mangoes, lemons, oranges, lemongrass, Let me see what else is there. Oh, Popos, of course. Yes. So it's really it's a mix. It's a mix of it's a diversified mix of different produce, but it's basically horticultural produce that I'm actually working on.
Okay, so you have been asked all the questions, and I think it's now your turn to ask me any question if
Yeah.
you would like.
Yeah, sure. So podcasting. A lot of people doing podcasts.
Yeah.
So where and what do you want this to do for you?
I think it's very, very similar to what you have for Forgotten Bottom Millions.
Yeah.
It's basically to offer people opportunities like what you have. So now they know they can join 4BM,
Yes.
as well as look out for ways in which they can contribute. So I wouldn't want 4BM to be something that burdens you so heavily. If
Thank
there's
you.
anyone who feels like they can come in, maybe provide any sort of support, be part of the ecosystem, I want them to be able to plug in through that. I think 4BM is a very good example of why You Create Impact exists. The other thing is there are other people who may be very removed from 4BM, or they may be thinking of something else they can do within their society, or they may be facing a certain challenge like what you shared, and they have this light bulb moment and say, for all these people who have been asking me this, how come I haven't done something, and what can I do? So just that reflection and a solution coming through that, that's my goal. And I hope to start hearing those kind of responses from people. And also, it's just an opportunity for people to network. I think I've known your work for a couple of years now, and we're just meeting for the first time in person.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's good to, be able to, meet human to human and have these kind of exchanges. So, yeah, I hope that answers.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. First of all, congratulations. We need, as Kenyans, as Africans, as people from the global south, we need to produce our own content. We need to consume our own content because we have a lot of it.
Yeah.
It is valuable, and don't let anybody cheat you. The greatest and the best productions that you may see that have been the biggest blockbusters around the world, and I will say it and I will name it, like Lion King. Those are stories that have come from us.
Absolutely.
So, to the people watching and listening, be out there with your content. And the greatest thing is that the barriers to entries have changed. Before, and I'll just say this. So for me, anybody that has, that has a phone, that is it. Really, that is your studio. Oh, interesting enough, whatever you see on shared by 4BM comes from this. What I'm holding here in my hand. This is what I use.
There's no expensive equipment.
This is it.
Crazy
And that's
thing.
why I took my phone and I brought it on my table here. This is it. So if you have this, you can do more than me. You must do more than me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember I told everybody must do them. Not
Yeah,
me. Yes.
yeah.
You must do yourself. Yes.
Is you have so many WhatsApp groups. How do you even make that personal for people? How do they feel part of this community?
So thank you. So what we've done as 4BM is we have one central community for admins. So, and the way you get into this central community for admins is that if your group has more than, whatever group you have, whether it's a group about making furniture, whether it's a group about, it's a church group, whether it's an all boys group or an all girls group, for us, that's not relevant. What we do is that we tell you that we are a resource where you can come into and get other extra resources alongside what you're doing. So we're not out to take over or to now become, to make a group a 4BM group, so to speak. What we're telling you is that we are a place where you can get qualified and verified information to share with your people, with your group to continue the things. 4 p.m., 5 years from today, wow. Again, I think technology is also changing. There's things I've been reading. So, for example, I think yesterday I was reading and watching that I think Musk has some things under his sleeves with respect to things to come and rival WhatsApp and things.
Yeah.
So I would say that we would like to embrace what other technologies may come out there that may make it easier or make access to the things that we have again easier to reach and easier to consume. So for me, I think in the next 5 years is just to ensure that more people are able to use the things that we continue to upload and share.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Someone in the 4BM group mentioned that sometimes they see a lot of opportunities and they get different ideas with the magazines that you send, but capital still remains a challenge for many people, particularly in the global south. How can you support people to be able to access this kind of needs?
Great question. And I think, let me answer it this way, because a lot of the magazines and the resources that we share may have addressed that, but you've not delved deeply into it. And I'm going to be very practical. So I'm going to take two products. I'm going to take avocados, I'm going to take mangoes. I'm going to take avocados because mainly grown around Central, although also grown in Kisumu and other places, not that much. And mangoes because mango is also grown in the eastern region, also grown up towards Western Kenya. So let's pretend that you have a mango tree, just one mango tree. Let's pretend you just have one avocado tree. Or mango season normally comes around the corner. Honestly speaking, and I kid you not, with 5,000 shillings, not with 5,000 shillings, you can actually convince your neighbors to give you their excess mangoes, and you can actually dry them in the sun and make mango chips. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Avocados. How many avocados go to waste? You can take
Millions.
avocados, you can dry them, and you can make avocado oil. Yes or no? This capital thing is a lie that is sold to us and to keep you from thinking and moving. Exodus chapter 4, verse 2, my favorite verse in the Bible. So when Moses went up to the mountain and God told him, go set my people free. And he told God, but what do I have? And God answered him, what's in your hand? God has given us all something in our hands. Every single one of us, wherever you're at, that you can use, that will get you started to a point that then the bank, the cooperative, or your uncle, or your sister, or your brother will now see that they can come in and also boost you and help you.
While I agree with
Yeah.
you that we all have our hands and we need to start somewhere, I also understand where people are coming from with sort of the need. Like once you dry those avocados, or maybe what is it called? The mango.
mangoes, yes.
Once you dry those avocados or once you dry those mangoes, you need to pack them, sell them somewhere. There's always this thought process.
Right.
And also remember the scarcity aspect.
Yes.
The fact that sometimes you're living in a state of not having much also reduces how much you're able to think for yourself. This is just reality. And psychologists would agree with this, Michael.
In fact, you said it so well.
Yeah.
It is the scarcity mentality. You've answered it so well. You've actually answered yourself so well. What you think is so important. Let me tell you, and everybody watching and listening to this podcast, what you think is so essential. What you think is more important than what I'll ever tell you. And whatever you think is right, irrespective of what I'll say.
That's the right thing.
Yeah, what you think? I can't, that's your world. What you've decided is your world. And no matter whether I take you to Harvard, whether I take you to Oxford, if you've decided, you sealed it.
So what Michael is saying in short, guys, is he's not going to babysit anybody. You have to wake up, roll up your sleeves, and with what you have, be able to take yourself from point A to point B, and then the rest, life is ready to weave in.
Can I give a practical story?
Yes, please.
So during COVID, Chiro Friday that you see that we have every day came up during COVID. Because during COVID, a lot of people lost jobs. So what we decided was that every Friday we'd have Chiro Friday where people could sell their services, products, and their goods to each other.
In the WhatsApp
on the WhatsApp groups. So there's this one girl, never met her. So she started off by selling samosas and mandazis and etc. And I remember ordering from her to suppliers. Then I was working as for Africa CDC as the internal comms director during the vaccine sharing program. And we had an office, so I asked her to come and supply us. And she came, and she kept advertising on the WhatsApp group on Chiro Friday. As I speak to you now, she stopped advertising because she even moved a step further. She now does pre-arranged meals for families, and she's got more than enough customers, so she doesn't need any more, and she no longer advertises.
That's so inspirational. But it sounds doable. So just
From
roll up
selling
your sleeves,
mandazis
guys.
and samosas
Yeah.
and chapatis.
Speaking of which, there's an unemployment crisis.
Yes.
Especially with all the changes, people have lost really big jobs. I heard you mentioning the work with the Africa CDC, and it just brought to my mind, of course, the USAID catastrophe that has left a lot of families without jobs. What advice would you have for this kind of people? I know you've had friends who have also left media unexpectedly.
Right.
So this might not be something new for you. So if we could benefit also from your insights on that.
So let me guarantee everyone listening to this and watching this podcast, that is life and it will continue to happen.
Yeah.
And there's more coming. So it is not abnormal. It's not that you are hated and it happened to you. If you go back in history, you'll find that this has been the norm. Pandemics and different things have always resulted. But the thing is, at the tail end of it, in the long run, again, I'll say it depends on what you think and how you think that will take you to your next port of call. So what may seem as a setback could actually be, like I said before, your next step forward, or could leapfrog you to a totally and a new place that you had never thought about. So God is interesting. God has some ways of telling you, you know what? You've been too mediocre. And this thing, you've been too comfortable. It's time to shut that down. You now need to move on.
Okay. And I also feel the same way. I feel like it's also an opportunity for us to look inwards and see what can we do for ourselves and how can we be more in control of situations rather than, sitting down and just expecting someone to do something for us.
Let me be honest. Why is it that USAID has been buck stopping for us our health provisions when we have a budget, when we have resources as a government? Why? It's a question we need to ask ourselves. And isn't it interesting? The budget was just read 2 days ago, and no taxes increased. And apparently now we have found money to give to the ministries.
We can take care of ourselves.
Thank you.
We can. So again, thank you so much for listening. Mindset, very critical. What you think is what you become. Thank you, Michael, for sharing with us a whole life cycle. This has been extremely interesting. And I know that we are together in
Yes.
the Pwani Innovation Week
Yes, interesting.
sort
Yes.
of committee. So
Right.
we'll probably meet there, folks.
Absolutely, yes.
And it will be interesting to learn more about where you will be with the pesticide work. Again, thank you for joining.
Thank you very much. And thank you for being a part of the 4BM network. Those who have not joined, please join. Like I said before, it is the number 4bm.africa, and you can join directly from the website. Thank you very much.
Bye.